Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a fascinating topic for coin collectors and casual treasure hunters alike. Just how much is a 1994 2 pence Elizabeth II coin worth? You might be surprised to learn that a seemingly ordinary coin from the 90s could have more value than its face would suggest. First, let's get into the basics. The 1994 2p coin is part of the UK decimal coinage system and features the third portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael MacLouve, where she's wearing the royal diadem and facing right. The reverse of the coin carries the badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet with a ribbon underneath reading Ich dien, meaning I serve. Now, this coin may not seem like much, and for most people, it's just 2 pence. But coin collectors, also known as numismatists, know that even common coins can sometimes hold hidden surprises. In 1994, the Royal Mint produced around 417 million of these coins, which means that by mintage alone, the coin is not rare. Mass mintage usually means low collector value, but that's only part of the story. While the average circulated 1994 2 pence coin is only worth its face value, certain factors can drive up its worth, including its condition, unusual minting errors, or even potential anomalies in its metal composition. Let's start with coin condition. Collectors pay a premium for coins that are in mint or near mint state. If your 1994 2p has sharp edges, a brilliant finish, and no wear or scratches, it could be classified as brilliant uncirculated, or BU. In that case, its value could range between $1 and $5. Not a fortune, but certainly a nice jump from 2p. Coins graded higher by professional services might even fetch a bit more. Then there are minting errors, and these are where things can get interesting. While no widespread confirmed error exists for the 1994 2p, reports from collectors have mentioned things like doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or slightly misaligned edges. These error coins are valuable primarily because they're rare and unusual, and depending on how unique the error is, they could fetch between $10 and over $100. Some coins with dramatic errors have gone for even more, though those are typically from better known error years. If you think you've got a 1994 coin that looks a little off, it's worth having it examined by a reputable dealer or getting it graded. Then there's the question of the coin's metal. Before 1992, 2 pence coins were made from bronze, a copper tin zinc alloy. After 1992, however, the Royal Mint switched to copper-plated steel to cut costs. Most 1994 2 pence coins are copper-plated steel, and you can test that easily with a magnet. If your coin sticks to a magnet, it's steel. If it doesn't, and it has a slightly different color and shine, there's a tiny chance it could be a bronze version struck in error. While no confirmed bronze 1994 coins have surfaced, bronze 1992 versions have, and some have sold for over $500. That's why collectors still check every 2p they find from the early 90s. It's kind of like buying a lottery ticket. The odds are low, but the payoff could be worth it. Even without rare errors, some people just love to collect coins in sets, or by year, and 1994 is one of the years still commonly found in circulation, so uncirculated versions may have a bit of demand for collectors trying to complete their sets. Online auction sites like eBay often show BU 1994 2 pence coins listed for a few pounds, especially if they come in original mint packaging or proof sets. Speaking of which, proof sets are another angle. If you have a 1994 proof set from the Royal Mint, the coins inside are typically struck with more detail and care, making them more collectible, and these sets can go for a decent price depending on their condition and packaging. So to wrap up part 1, here's the takeaway. Most 1994 2 pence coins are common and worth just 2p, but if you've got one in exceptional condition or with a noticeable minting error, it might be worth significantly more. And there's always a slim but exciting chance that a bronze version could exist from a rare minting slip-up, which would make your coin far more valuable. In part 2, we're going to dive into how to actually sell these coins, what recent auctions have shown in terms of real-world value, how to avoid scams, and what tools you can use to verify your coin's worth. So be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next installment. And hey, while you're at it, go check those old jars, piggy banks, or pockets. You never know, that little copper coin might just be hiding some hidden treasure. Alright, welcome back to part 2 of our deep dive into the 1994 2 pence coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II. And in this section, we're going to get into the real world side of things, how much these coins are actually selling for, what Collectors are really paying how to check if your coin is valuable and how to avoid common pitfalls when buying or selling. So let's kick it off with one of the most common questions people ask. What are these coins going for right now? On the market? Well, the best way to find out is by checking platforms like eBay, Etsy, Numista, or dedicated coin selling sites such as a Coincraft or the London Coins. A quick search for 1994 2 pence coin on eBay, for example, will show a huge range of listings. Most circulated coins, the kind you've likely got in your pocket or piggy bank, are listed for very low prices, typically between 0.10 and before cheers depending on the condition. But here's the trick. Just because someone lists a coin for a high price doesn't mean it's worth that much. What you really want to look at are sold listings. That's where you see what people are actually paying. In most cases, a standard 1994 2p in average condition sells for, you guessed it, yes, pun, or maybe a little more if someone is buying in bulk. But things get interesting when you look at coins in this brilliant uncirculated condition. These often sell in the range of 1 to 5 sarn, especially if they come in a protective flip, a coin capsule, or are part of a year set. In fact, some Royal Mint year sets from 1994, which include the 1p, 2p, 5p, and other denominations, are sold to collectors for around both 10 to 25 fines, and the 2p from those sets is generally in flawless condition. Now let's say you think you've got something a bit special. Maybe your coin looks misaligned, has weird markings, or feels different in the hand. These are all potential signs of a minting error. And that's where things can really take a turn in value. Error coins are kind of like the holy grail for modern coin collectors. For a 1994 2p, confirmed mint errors are rare, but not impossible. If you have a coin that shows a doubling out on the date or letters, a strange planche, flaw, a partial strike, or even a die clash, that could be worth investigating. Coins with minor errors may sell for hard 10 to 50 yuanans, while more dramatic errors, such as completely off-center strikes or wrong metal planches, can go for 100 or more, especially if verified by a grading service. Speaking of which, let's talk about some coin grading. Wait, if you think your coin is exceptional, either in condition or due to a potential error, you can send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or Nagisi. They'll authenticate and grade the coin on a scale from 1 to 70, and this certification can significantly boost its market value and make it easier to sell. Just be aware that grading isn't free. It usually costs on $20 to $40 per coin, not including shipping, so make sure it's worth it before you commit. Now, how do you sell your coin once you know it's valuable? There are a few options. For casual sellers, eBay is a good place to start. Just make sure your photos are clear and you're honest about the condition. You can also try Facebook, Marketplace, coin collecting forums, or even local coin shops. Although shops may offer you slightly less since they also need to make a profit. If you have something truly rare or valuable, consider reaching out to an auction house that specializes in numismatics. These professionals can help you get top dollar from serious collectors. On the flip side, if you're buying as coins, be cautious. There are a lot of listings online that exaggerate the value of common coins, and sellers may try to convince buyers that a normal 1994 2p is worth hundreds when it's not. Always check on multiple sources to compare prices and look for proofs of sale history before spending more than a couple pounds on any modern coin. Another great resource is the Royal Mint website, which sometimes publishes details on error coins or rare releases. Also, coin catalogs like Sphinx Coins of England can help you check retail values and get more educated about what's out there. One last thing to note is that coin values can shift over time based on collector demand, inflation, and even social trends, especially with coins that feature Queen Elizabeth II now that her portrait has been replaced with King Charles III. Some collectors are starting to hold on to older coins featuring her likeness, expecting long-term value growth. The 1994 2 pence Elizabeth II coin, and in this section we're going to shift gears a bit. We've already talked about how to spot valuable versions of the coin, what they sell for, and how to safely buy or sell them. Now, let's take a broader look and explore how you can build an entire coin collection around coins like the 1994 2p, how to properly store and preserve your coins for the long haul, and what other 2 pence years or coin types are worth keeping an eye out for. If you've ever thought about getting more serious with coin collecting, or if you just want to turn your loose change into something a bit more meaningful, this is the part you've been waiting for. So let's start with a simple idea, building a year set on collection. A lot of collectors enjoy assembling complete year sets. That means collecting every denomination minted in a specific year. So for 1994, you'd be looking for the 1p, 2p, 5p, 10p, 20p, 50p, and the one coin from that year. You can either try to find all the coins in circulation or go a step further and collect brilliant uncirculated or sharp-proof versions, which are often sold by the Royal Mint in annual sets. These year sets are not only fun to build, but they also tell a historical story, like what was happening in the UK in that year, what designs were featured, and what portraits were in use. Over time, assembling sets from multiple years gives you a nice chronological snapshot of British coinage. You can also focus more narrowly on just 2 pence coins, collecting one from each year starting from 1971 to the present. This collection is relatively easy to complete since most years had large mintages, but the challenge increases when you start aiming for pristine condition or tracking down low mintage or error coins. For instance, certain years like 1983 and 1989 have known variants that can be valuable, such as the 1983 New Pence coin, which is extremely rare due to the incorrect inscription after the Royal Mint changed the wording to 2 pence. In 1982, collectors who specialize in 2p coins often look for such anomalies, and even though the 1994 version is relatively standard, having it as part of a full set gives it collectible value. Now, once you've started building your collection, preservation becomes key. Coins can lose value quickly if they're scratched, discolored, or damaged by moisture. To protect your coins, consider investing in a coin flip size to your 2x2 holders, or say plastic coin capsules. These are inexpensive and can keep your coins in great condition while still allowing you to view them. For higher value or uncirculated coins, it's best to avoid handling them directly with your fingers. Use cotton gloves or handle them by the edges to prevent oil and skin acid from damaging the surface. You should also store your coins in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight and humidity. Over time, even slight exposure to the elements can lead to tarnish or corrosion, especially on copper or bronze coins. If you're planning to store your coins long term, you might even look into acid-free coin albums or archival quality storage boxes. These not only protect your collection, but also make it easier to organize and show off to friends or fellow collectors. Another tip, always label your coins or pages with the year, mint mark if applicable, and any notes about condition or potential errors. This helps keep track of what you have, especially as your collection grows. Now, back to the topic of valuable coins. You might be wondering what other 2 pence years are worth more than face value. While the 1994 coin is quite common, other years like 1983, 1989, and even some 1992 bronze era coins have been confirmed as rare. The 1983 New Pence variant is the most famous. Only a few were minted with the older inscription after the switch to 2 pence, and those coins have sold for hundreds, even thousands of pounds depending on condition. There are also collectors who target die errors, off-metal strikes, or proof set only years like 1971 or 1985, where circulation versions are common but proof coins are scarcer and command higher prices. Some even branch into world coins or other denominations once they've built a solid foundation with 2p pieces. The beauty of coin collecting is that you can tailor it to your interests. Maybe you focus on coins from your birth year, maybe you aim to collect all Queen Elizabeth II designs, or maybe you just want to track down oddities and errors. No matter what your focus, the 1994 2 pence is a great starting point because it's widely available, visually iconic, and part of a lineage that spans the entirety of Elizabeth II's reign. So to sum up part 3, if you're thinking long term, turn that single coin into part of a bigger journey. Start collecting 2 pence coins by year or denomination. Welcome back, everyone, to the final part of our deep dive into the 1994 2 pence coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II. In this last section, we're going to look ahead, because while we've explored the history, value, and collecting strategy around this coin, the story doesn't end there. In fact, it's just getting more interesting, especially with recent changes in the British monarchy and evolving trends in coin production. So let's start with one of the biggest shifts in modern British numismatics, the passing of Queen Elizabeth II in 2022, and the introduction of coins featuring and King Charles III. This historic transition has already begun to reshape how collectors value coins bearing Elizabeth II's portrait. After all, her reign spanned over 70 years and included multiple portrait changes on coins, each reflecting different stages of her life. The 1994 Two Pence coin features the third definitive portrait, created by Raphael Makhlouf, which is one of the most widely recognized versions. As new coins featuring King Charles III enter circulation, older coins featuring the late Queen are becoming more collectible, not necessarily because they're rare right now, but because they represent a completed era. Over time, this can increase demand for coins like the 1994 2p, especially in pristine condition or as part of full-year sets. We've already seen a gradual uptick in interest in full Elizabeth II collections, and as more people seek to own a piece of that history, even common coins may experience modest value increases. Another factor to keep in mind is the growing discussion around the phasing out low denomination coins, like the 1p and 2p. In recent years, countries like Canada, Australia, and New Zealand have removed their lowest value coins from circulation, due to the rising cost of production and decreasing usage in a digital economy. The UK has flirted with this idea before. The Royal Mint even conducted a review back in 2018 exploring whether these coins should be scrapped. While they ultimately decided to keep them for now, the conversation hasn't gone away. If the UK were ever to retire the 1p or 2p coins, especially the older copper or bronze versions, that move could dramatically increase interest in coins like the 1994 2p. Historically, when coins are taken out of circulation, they often see a bump in their collector value, especially among those trying to complete date runs or hold on to them as keepsakes. It's another reason why storing your coins carefully and preserving their condition could pay off in the long run. And speaking of the future, let's also touch on how the collecting community is evolving. In the age of the internet, it's easier than ever to connect with fellow collectors through platforms like Reddit's rCoins, various Facebook groups, Instagram pages, and even TikTok, where videos about rare coins go viral regularly. This increase in visibility has caused spikes in interest and sometimes in prices on coins that used to fly under the radar. While a 1994 2p may not be top of the rarity charts, any buzz around mint errors, year sets, or metal anomalies can quickly bring attention to it. We've seen examples where common coins suddenly sell for hundreds due to rumors or misunderstood listings, so being informed and cautious is key. As a collector, the more you understand about your coins, thing to consider for the future of your coins is legacy collecting. Many collectors enjoy passing their coins down to family or friends, especially now that coins with Queen Elizabeth's image are becoming part of history. If you're thinking long-term, consider labeling your collection with notes about its significance, why certain years matter, how you got certain pieces, or what to look out for in the future. Not only does this preserve your hard work, but it also turns your collection into a personal story that others can continue. So to wrap it all up, the 1994 2 pence coin may not be the rarest or most valuable coin on its own, but it sits at a fascinating intersection of history, design, and potential future interest. Its place within Queen Elizabeth II's coinage, legacy, its classic design, and its availability in uncirculated and proof sets make it a worthy piece for both beginner and veteran collectors. And as we move into the era of King Charles III, the appeal of earlier coins will only grow. Keep your eyes open, treat your coins with care, and stay curious. Because whether you're in it for the history, the thrill of the hunt, or the potential profit, there's always something new to discover in your change. Thanks for joining me through this 4-part series on the 1994 2 pence coin. If you've enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment telling me what other coins you'd like to explore next. Until then, happy collecting, and may your next great find be just one coin away.